Again, folks, it's Mike Newmeyer, 410-902-0464. Call me with any questions. If you want to come in and visit, no obligation, no cost. Okay? I've got some ideas for you, more ideas today, mistakes that can cost you money in retirement. So listen up. If you want to write them down, there's a lot of them. Be happy to send them to you if you call me again at 410-902-0464. Okay, number one, beware of emotional investments. A lot of people make a lot of mistakes with putting in the market. They buy high and sell low. They think the market's doing great, so they get in. Well, that's the wrong time. The time to get in the market, if you're going to do it, we don't recommend it for people for retirement, but if you're going to do it, go in when the market's down. Then you go up with the market. And the hardest thing to do is to get out when you've made money. Oh, it's making so much money. Yes, it is. Sequence of returns means that bad markets follow good markets, follow bad markets, follow good markets. So when you're doing well, that's the time to get out. Look at the big money. Why do you think the markets go down? It's because the rich people, the biggest money in the world, gets out when the market's high. They know something, don't they? Okay, so that's number one. And then number two, buy and keep personal pensions like we use. Personal pensions where you cannot lose money. And some of those actually increase them in the income. Once you start it, they can increase, okay? Number three, your home is not a piggy bank. It's not a piggy bank. You don't just borrow money from your home. You don't do a home line, a line of equity unless you absolutely need it. It's not a piggy bank. Now, some folks have done well when the home market's going up, when your market price is going up, and they do these kinds of things. And then they forget when the market's going down, they've lost principal. So be careful with those kinds of things. Be very careful. Okay? A reverse mortgage is not a bad thing to look at for seniors. Be careful about the fees. Some mortgage people do not charge fees. They get paid by the companies, the finance companies, and they don't charge fees. But you need to know. If you're looking at one of those, you need to know. And so look at them when the market values are up. When your home values are up, that's the time to do it, because you can get a percentage of the market value on your home when you do a reverse mortgage. You can roughly get 60% in Maryland, 60% of the equity. So if you had $200,000, then you get $120,000, and you pay it back out to you over a 2-year period, basically. Okay, that's the simplest way to look at it. Not a bad idea if you're going to stay in the home. You're going to stay in your home, not a bad idea. Okay. And then guard it. You don't want family, using your money. They think, well, you got some money now, and then pretty soon you got everybody knocking at the door. So you want to keep it pretty confidential. Okay? How about using CD-like products that are earning 4+% a year for 5 years? And we have those. We have 3-year products too, but the 5 years are paying the most. So if you're interested in a CD-like product, call me, 410-902-0464, okay? Drop unprofitable investments. People think, oh, if I buy something, I keep it for life. Not so good if it shortens your life. The thing about it is, bad investments, if it's really a bad investment and it's not going to turn itself around in your lifetime, it's not worth keeping. Okay, so I can counsel you on some of those kinds of things. And then have emergency funds. You got to have emergency funds. Otherwise, you're going to dip into your other assets if you don't have emergency funds. Most people have some kind of emergency fund, but most of the time it's not enough. Talk to me. I'll help guide you on that question too. Okay? Waiting for lifetime income. If you have a lifetime income, if you have a personal pension as an example, typically the right way to handle it is to start the income as early as possible. If it's a lifetime pension, why would you delay? You see? Why would you delay? And especially if the income is going to start increasing, if it can increase, after the income has started, then why would you wait? Doesn't make sense. I don't want to pay the taxes, they'll say. That doesn't make sense. Pay the taxes and keep the money. You're always going to have to pay taxes. Okay? Don't make short-term real estate investments. Real estate is a long-term investment. It's not appropriate for a lot of folks age-wise. You know, if you're over 60, does it make any sense to buy real estate? If you're over 70, does it make any sense to buy real estate? So think about those kinds of questions, because real estate is a long-term investment. Dropping life insurance. A lot of people drop their life insurance. They hear about these ads that people are selling their life insurance and how that's going to enhance their retirement. Trust me, you don't get much for life insurance anyway. And the benefits of having life insurance are great compared to selling it. Now, you know, they'll buy anything, even term insurance, but term insurance typically ends after 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, or whatever. So there's not much value there. Not much value there. So you're not going to get much. I say to people, run the term. Run the term. You're not going to want to run past the term typically, because when you reach a certain age, it just goes crazy. But be very careful about selling your life insurance or ending it, lapsing on it. Okay? Let's see what else. Scams. Watch out for scams. They're all after seniors. Huh? There's all kinds of scams. They'll claim to be, you know, your credit card calling you because there's been fraud. There's all kinds of scams out there. And I know people that have been scammed. So you've got to be very, very careful. You suddenly get a telephone call from the IRS. They're not going to call you telling you that you need to send in X number of dollars. They're not going to call you. Huh? They're not going to call. They'll send you a letter saying we need to talk to you, but they're not going to call you. Same thing with Social Security. They're not going to call you. There's all kinds of scams out there. Be very careful with them. If you get something that looks a little bit crazy, check on it. Check on it. Talk to your accountant. Talk to me. If it's the IRS, call the IRS. If it's Social Security, call Social Security. If it's a credit card, call the credit card. But do not respond immediately. They're in it to make money. Be careful. Be very careful. Okay? Don't add your family members to your deed. Don't do it. There's been some terrible results of that. Now, your family may be honest and so forth and so on. But I say don't add their name to the deed. Now, if you want somebody in the family to inherit the house after you're gone, there's a very simple solution. It's called a life estate deed. A life estate deed. Talk to a lawyer about it. You'll talk to the title company. A life estate deed says that after you die, that house is going to go to that person. The deed changes immediately. That's a life estate deed. They don't have any right to it before you're gone. And then life estate deed takes over, simplifies a lot of things through operation of law. Does not have to go through orphans court. Does not have to go through estate court. Okay? So that's a very, very powerful and worth considering option. Okay? Another one along those lines. Okay? My final comment is use a joint tenants by the common, joint tenants by the entirety. Excuse me. What is joint tenants by the entirety? That's husband and wife, only husband and wife. But that says that if one of you is liable for something that could affect your home, okay? Two people in an automobile accident, but one person was driving, one person is responsible, the other person isn't. They can't take the house. They can't touch that asset. Very important. Talk to a lawyer about it, and they'll help you with it. Life estate deed was one, and then joint tenants by the entirety, only for couples. Those are some things you may have never heard of, and there's others. And I'll be bringing you more information soon. Thank you very much.